Recently, I played through Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, not to be confused with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 that I played through recently, because this one is wholly original, as long as you don't count any of the plethora of ideas it stole from itself. The word of the day is Ouroboros. The following is a completely accurate summary of the campaign, or at least the 3 hours of levels they cobbled together to call a campaign and charge $70 for. Trust me. The game begins with 3 dudes chilling in an airlock 1 foot apart because we are gay. We're getting their gear ready while it's filling with water, which seems like something they should have done before they started filling the room with water in case something was wrong. We emerge from the water to look up at the gulag. Hey guys, remember Modern Warfare 2? No, not Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, we're doing that again. Aren't you nostalgic? Don't think about how this was $70. After ziplining our way to the top, we watch our friend kill a guard because the game would rather have the NPCs push us along instead of having any player agency of our own, and then we get a little lost bumbling around in the dark because it's really hard to see. If Call of Duty can get away with doing the same thing over and over again, I can get away with doing the same thing over and over again. After blindly stumbling our way to the right area, we get a door open for us and Tali correctly guesses the twist. Who are we saving? Is it Ghost? Oh no, it's Price. It's Prisoner 627.
What did they pull a funny and make it Makarov this time?
Oh, maybe it is Makarov, actually, because that was part of the marketing, right? We tell some guards to go inside so they don't catch a cold and open a door where we continue to make fun of Call of Duty. If this does turn out to be Makarov, I'm sure some Call of Duty writers were like jerking each other off and were like, everybody knows 627 is Price, so now it's Mac. This is gonna be an issue. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. I think I actually do have to turn on the night vision.
Damn. Oh, it forces you for the game to continue?
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yo, thanks. I'm just gonna take a quick nap, okay? Up at 1 and 3. We watch our friends shoot some guards for us and then break out Little Mac. Is that Makarov?
Yes.
Why does he look like a... He looks like he manages a trust fund.
Oh my god.
He's the most white-collar looking dude I've ever seen.
I told you, substitute teacher.
Yeah, he's definitely a substitute teacher.
Your commander, Vladimir Makarov.
His voice is like way less intimidating in this too than the original.
He looks like a toddler.
He does, he's got a baby face. And then I kill him. I win! Game over! Little Mac gets a door open for him because he thinks he's a Call of Duty protagonist, and we take an elevator where he asks us a question, so we stare awkwardly at him for a moment, and the game continues on like we made a choice. We walk out to the courtyard and die. Did I walk too far? Is that what happened? Okay, I guess I walked like 2 feet too far, and the game didn't like that. And then shoot a prisoner, which the game doesn't like, because if Makarov gives a fuck if a couple random prisoners get killed on his way out, because he's so empathetic. We escape in a boat and cut to Drew Carey's game show's Warzone group, who gets the news about Little Mac having escaped from prison. So they ask the bus driver to cancel the drop, and we cut to Urzikstan with Nira and Helen, who is back now because he actually didn't die at the end of the second Modern Warfare. But if you haven't been keeping up with Warzone lore, then this is just an out-of-nowhere thing, because Call of Duty thinks it's Marvel, and everyone's always caught up on all the side content. Fuck you if you only focus on the main stuff. Nira meets up with Spilled Milk, who is a brand new character to this game, who has some deep background with Nira, so she'll be a very important character throughout this campaign.
Dina's getting shot. I'm calling it now.
Dina? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Dina's getting shot.
Then we crash because a dead person can't be trusted behind the wheel, and that's the end of the game. We can't go a single Call of Duty without crashing a car. But then there's more, unfortunately. Nero wakes up and grabs a butter knife when we run across the port to grab some gear. Wait, oh, it's fucking Warzone. It's Warzone! Why? It's just, what a fucking joke. And then we get a little lost trying to find some GPS trackers, which is pretty ironic. Then we run around the port to put trackers on some boxes and the level ends. Wait, really? There's still a ton of bad guys left, but they just take the boxes like there's no issue? If you say so, Call of Duty. Then Nira mourns the loss of her friend, but there's no use crying over spilled milk, so we cut to Little Mac meeting up with a Mortal Kombat character who looks a little different than I remember, but they keep changing these character designs so wildly between every release that I'll just take their word for it. Little Mac gives a speech and kills a guy to promote another guy because he doesn't really understand the corporate ladder and thinks that firing someone means killing them, and no one is willing to speak up to correct him because he doesn't take constructive criticism well. And then we cut to Karen filling in the gang on a Zillow listing she's going to send us to check out because open houses are brutal in this market and we might have to get rude. After blowing up some helicopters because we don't agree with the widely accepted laws of aviation. What?
What the fuck?
Well, that was goofy. Oh, oops.
Copy 6, take it out.
I did not press F. What? I pressed E.
What the fuck?
The game blew me up for no reason. Okay, let's try this again. Battlefield 3!
Only in Battlefield. Nice.
We wait impatiently for a door to open and get rude to some other people who are thinking about buying the property. Stealth! Stealth! I want that. 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 Yes. Yes, a riot shield.
Dude.
Yeah, prizes. We decide we really don't want to buy a stinky room, especially if the smell is so bad that it melts your face off like this guy. But don't worry, Drew Carey's game show is fine because he's got plot armor and his skin can't be melted off by chemical weapons. We have a conversation with the gang about morning sickness and cut back to Karen, who's looking to buy a vacation home in the Mountain View, but there's nothing for sale in the area, so we've got to chase some people out of their homes and take them Christopher Columbus style. Then Nira and Drew Carey's game show have a conversation about General Shepard and how he's been sending Urzikstan missiles, and Drew Carey's game show is pissy because Shepard tried to kill him in the last game, which once again brings up the question of why Shepard even tried to do that in the first place. We'll get back to this because it gets important again later. After hugging some locals, we prevent a line from forming because we're British and hate queues, and then perform a 12-hit combo on a guy because we've still got Mortal Kombat on the mind. Are you a base commander? No. Are you a base commander? Oh, that looks like a base commander, yeah.
To the tune of Dora the fucking Explorer, apparently.
Can you show me where the key card is? That's right! Can you say, show me the fucking key card? We use a key to open a door because we can't figure out how to open them ourselves and take a conveniently placed rappel point to a locked door, and then Miss Nira do some cool guy shit on the guys keeping the door closed. So she opens the door for us and we kill some Ubisoft technicians to ensure that the Rainbow Six Siege servers are still dog shit, but let's be honest, they'd have been like that even if we hadn't killed those people. Turns out Little Mac's guys are trying to launch some fart gas as a prank, but we're not fans of pranks that are made at the expense of other people, so we head off to stop them with absolutely no problems whatsoever. We stop our fart gas missile with corporate diversity hire and meathead Zac Efron are fans of bad pranks, so they let their missiles go. So Drew Carey's game show warns Karen of the prank to ruin the reaction so the pranksters can't upload the video to their YouTube channel. Cut to 3 hours earlier where Karen convinces our cousin to be her Uber, so he drops her off pretty far away from her destination just to be a dick. 2 stars. After repeatedly failing to blend in because we're a middle-aged white woman looking lost in a Russian military base, we kill some guy for his door key because we still don't really understand how doors work, and meet up with lesbian hentai who doesn't get a new nickname for this reboot because this is the only scene he's in before he gets gassed to death, I assume. Drew Carey's game show warns Karen that there's missiles coming, and she looks up at the ceiling like that would help her identify where the missiles are coming from, and then after they go off, she runs through a bunch of deadly chemicals and breathes in a bunch, but that's okay, she's wearing the same plot armor as Price and can't be killed by extremely deadly gas. Cut to Little Mac going through airport security before cutting to some lady on a plane, and then the guy sitting next to us starts acting like a creep with no concept of personal space. So we steal his gun and shoot the other passengers, but the game doesn't like that because no Russian in this game is a joke compared to the original, which was already just for shock value and didn't even make sense. Little Mac upgrades our ticket from economy to terrorist, and why is he here at all? He just strapped a bomb vest to a random person on a plane. If she decided to detonate it immediately, then he's dead. End of plan. And then somehow they get the door of the plane open, despite the fact that, assuming this plane is at an average cruising altitude of 25 to 30,000 feet, that wouldn't work due to the pressure keeping the door closed, which is a fact that Call of Duty knows because in the original Modern Warfare, they had to use an explosive to get the door open during Mile High Club. And then after Little Mac and his goons jump out of the plane, Samara doesn't make the decision to jump out after them, which would have saved the plane from getting exploded. This whole plan revolves around Samara wearing the bomb vest, getting recorded, and having that footage leaked, which means the plan is contingent on some phones that recorded her surviving getting exploded and conveniently landing with all the rest of the wreckage, and not getting scattered across the countryside considering how high up they are. In that case, why didn't Makarov just record some footage of her himself that he could take with him when he left the plane? This plan is stupider than the original Russian, and that plan was pretty fucking stupid. Anyways, we cut back to Karen filling us in on the plan to get to the crash site of the plane and erase all the evidence, which is all conveniently in one place despite the plane exploding extremely high in the air. And this mission is just to hack 3 phones, delete evidence from a black box, and leave. Also, Nira is 100% convinced that Samara was forced to do this with absolutely zero evidence. Cut to the gang piecing together Little Mac's plan, which is to frame Urzikstan as using American weapons to target Russia to cause a war with America. But framing Urzikstan as the transgressors, even if they were using American weaponry, would likely just result in an invasion of Urzikstan, and a proxy war with America with no direct conflict, like the Korean War or the Vietnam War. I guess that could have been an interesting and more believable direction for the series to take than a full-scale Russian invasion of America, but as we'll find out by the end of this game, that doesn't happen because the good guys are able to maintain the status quo. And now it's time for a flashback level. 4 years ago in Verdansk, where we were Ubered into a soccer game, but they stopped and let us out in front of a bunch of trigger-happy cops. 2 stars. After killing some civilians because they were rooting for the wrong team, we kill some medics because they were trying to help people, and we think that any kind of external help is communism, and that's bad. They should have just pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, and then jump down an elevator shaft and get ironically run over by an ambulance before checking inside, and our cash pull was just some baby-faced Russian dude, which was disappointing. I was hoping for Jeff the baby land shark. Now begins the escort section of the game, which is just as good as you expect, as long as you expect it to be dog shit. I think both Farah and Price in this game sound like they're doing some weird gravelly voice that they were not doing before.
Go to soap.
Oh, I thought about it, yeah.
I just thought about it, yeah. How you doing, guys? My name is John Price.
Oh, I was hoping he'd like run away.
Sexually harass Makarov to make him follow Price's orders. Mouse 5 to Makarov. After loading Little Mac onto a helicopter with Shepard, who is here for some reason. Why is a US general conducting field ops? I thought they figured out this was fucking stupid in the originals. Now they're loading Public Enemy #1 into a helicopter with him? What the fuck? Turns out Little Mac's plan was to divert attention away from the airport and then blow it up. And meathead Zac Efron threatens to blow his brains out, but Drew Carey's game show stops him, despite the fact that executing him right now would prevent all that stuff from happening in the future. But they didn't play the beginning of the game, so they won't know that happens for another 4 years.
John, we have him. He's in custody. He's not going anywhere.
John, we have him. He's in custody. He's not going anywhere. Cut back to present day, where we get a call from General Shepard where, surprise, Philip is alive, which I called immediately after his supposed death in Modern Warfare 2, and is yet another Warzone thing where they revealed he was alive a while ago. Okay, I still called it before the reveal. Everyone throws a hissy fit that they've got to work with General Shepard because he's a liar, and Karen tells Drew Carey's game show that she's CIA, so she knows all about lies, which is a line that I'm sure some writer thought sounded cool and not stupid as shit. Now it's time for the not-so-ambiguously gay duo to find Mortal Kombat, which we do stealthily. I'm gonna fucking die.
Use your other gun. Get the gun in your right hand.
Oh, was I? Were they not both shooting? I thought they were both shooting.
No, there were only one shooting at a time.
Oh.
God, you've been playing so much Counter-Strike.
After walking in on Mortal Kombat without scheduling a meeting, we harass her about her OnlyFans and threaten to take all our money away, so she gives up Little Mac. Because rich people have such weak convictions that they'll give up their values for money, which we already knew because we live in modern-day America. Cut to Makarov telling Nolan that the gang got to Mortal Kombat with some help from Shadow, who they conveniently avoid name-dropping so that the audience is left guessing if that means Shepard or Graves, or someone else. And you'll have to continue guessing through this whole campaign because it's never revealed and it's unlikely that it's either of them. Cut to Karen, who wants us to check out some more real estate, this time a high-rise in Russia because it's pretty cheap because we're hemorrhaging money from all these long trips. So Corporate Diversity Hire sneaks into the building and we mirrors edge our way to the roof, where we capture Nolan alive and defend the area for an arbitrary amount of time before getting skyhooked out, which is bad for our shoulders, and our ribs, and our back, and probably our brain. I mean, there's a reason they don't do this anymore. Unfortunately, Nolan doesn't want to talk to us because we're not on his team, but luckily Little Mac doesn't talk in any sort of code whatsoever, so we get their grinder notification about meeting at a prison and we get ready to stop them. We blow up the convoy into a lake because this big explosion is definitely safe for our internal organs at this distance, and rescue a prisoner in freezing cold water with a bag over their head who is definitely just getting waterboarded right now, and it turns out the prisoner is General Shepard. Surprise! What? Here's why it doesn't make sense if General Shepard turned out to be Shadow. If he was Shadow, that means he tried to flip on Makarov, so he got captured and was being taken to wherever for whatever reason, and not killed for betraying Makarov because, I don't know, maybe he wanted to kill him personally or something. But Shepard knows Makarov's next move, which either means he was told the plan because Makarov still trusted him, and this prison convoy is a ruse, or this was all a coincidence and he wasn't Shadow to begin with. He just knows Makarov's next move because he's better at getting intel. If he isn't Shadow, that means Shadow gave us intel about Makarov and then flipped a second time and gave Makarov Shepard to make good on betraying Makarov, which also doesn't make sense. Makarov was already shown to be merciless when it came to people not trusting his plans, so Makarov would have just killed Shadow even if it was General Shepard. And if Shadow was dead, we would probably know, right? Anyways, where were we? General Shepard asks for a dry jacket and a gun, so we give him a gun but not a jacket so he can just die of hypothermia in the woods because he's soaking wet in freezing temperatures. But who needs dry clothes when you're wearing plot armor, right? After no-scoping some people who were out in the woods hunting, we meet up with Ghost and murder some dock workers because the docks can't afford to pay them when the lake is frozen over, and then we have some fun getting crushed by a helicopter and trying to kill Shepard. After finally getting into the helicopter, we Uber Shepard to Karen and force him to agree to spill the beans to Congress, publicly telling everyone that he was supplying missiles to Urzikstan so they could defend themselves and that Nero wasn't responsible for the terrorist attacks. Cut to Karen telling us Little Mac's next plan, which is to blow up a dam and flood the area because people can't usually breathe underwater. So now we're playing as Gove, who defuses some bombs and then leaves the area, and that's the whole mission. Okay then. Cut to Philip meeting up with Nira, Helen, and corporate diversity hire, and here's why Graves probably isn't Shadow. Because he's still actively helping us stop Makarov's plans. I can't imagine he's working with Makarov and also blowing up his plans firsthand. I want to play as Graves.
No, it's an AC-130 mission. It's an AC-130 mission.
You're kidding.
There's no way.
I don't want to play an AC-130 mission. After playing an AC-130 mission that's extremely long and extremely boring, Philip leaves and Drew Carey's game show lets everyone know that they don't have a confirmed kill on Little Mac. But Shepard tells them that's fine and that he's definitely dead, which makes no sense. Even the game can't comprehend why he'd say that and just gives up and chalks it up to ego. Cut to the congressional hearing where Shepard lets everyone know the truth, except Philip flips on him and says he absolutely didn't try to kill the gang despite being ordered by Shepard to do so. And then nothing comes from this hearing because we'll see later that Shepard still has his job. Cut to the gang working to hunt down Little Mac still, and they actually found out where he is because some Brits found him because the terrorists never use any sort of code whatsoever, so it's really easy to figure out where they're going to go next. So we're off to Operation Metro to stalk a guy, but we get to pet a dog, so this mission is a 10 out of 10. Also, the dog is Riley from Call of Duty Ghosts, which either means Ghost is canon and the timeline is really fucky, or this is just an Easter egg and I shouldn't look into it too much. But don't worry, I'm too lazy to figure all that out, so we'll just go with the Easter egg. After playing the brain dance sequence from Cyberpunk 2077, a lot of people get a door open for them, and we kill some dude who was just hanging around in a sewer because he might have been trying to sell someone weed or something. And then we shoot up a bathroom because real men don't have to pee, they just hold it and get a UTI. Turns out Little Mac's plan is to cause a traffic jam in the train tunnel to help legitimize Elon Musk's dumbass car tunnel, but we're rational thinking humans and know that trains are a much better solution than cars for mass transport, so we're off to stop him with the help of some cops that don't matter because they're all gonna die. After shooting some civilians, we press a button to open a door because we don't know how to do it ourselves and murder a bunch of people loitering in the tunnels. Yeah, that's fine. A grenade can just go off next to a train. Something tells me this is an excessive amount of trains. There's no way they have like multiple trains running on each track.
No, can you imagine if even one of them had to break unexpectedly?
Would it have been too much to ask for them to just like make a good game?
The executives say yes, it would be too much to ask. They need to get a game out every single year, regardless of quality. It is so clear that the developers did not have enough time for this game. We find a bomb and Meathead Zac Efron tries to defuse it, but he needs our help. But it probably would have gone smoother without us.
The logo on the board.
I feel...
We're too late.
Is that it?
What am I looking for? I didn't see any kind of logo. What fucking... Do you see a logo?
How do we decide?
Was that... Okay, go to the right.
Manufacture a logo on the large-
That looks like the logo.
That looks like a logo, but it doesn't seem to be the right answer. We're looking for a logo?
Okay.
Where's the logo? Do you guys see a logo? That looks like a logo.
That's the closest I have identified.
Bottom left?
Look at the red screw on the bottom.
What are we looking for? It's more to the right.
Out the tunnel and hit Europe. How do we disarm it?
Oh, there's a whole ass section over here.
Oh my god, there's so much more.
There we go. It's a bear.
A bear.
Logo on the circuit.
I didn't realize there was a whole other section. Fucking chat talking about shit they don't even understand. Chat's like, it's the bottom left, guys. Meathead Zac Efron gets shot by the friends of the guys we murdered for loitering, and we kill them too. And Little Mac shows up and shoots Meathead Zac Efron, but that's okay, he recovers, and then he gets shot again. He doesn't recover from that one. Then Little Mac gets away, and that's the end of the game. I'm not kidding. We watch Karen highlight some text and black it out in Microsoft Word, which isn't really how that works, and then she makes sure to correct herself by including soap in the debrief, because that was really important to add. And then we cut to Drew Carey's game show, corporate diversity hire and Gove, who dump out some random pot of dirt for whatever reason. Okay, you're surrounded by dirt, but whatever. Game over. Except for the after credit scene where Drew Carey's game show shows up to General Shepard's office to kill him, and why wouldn't Shepard pull out the gun from under his desk? Price says don't do that, but if Shepard knows Price is gonna kill him, why not try to fight back? Why does Price even kill him in the first place? Revenge? Nobody fucking died when Shepard betrayed them in the first game. This is such a stupid fucking end to a stupid fucking piss fight that never even made any sense to begin with. Oh man, this means I'm gonna have to cover Modern Warfare 4 in a couple of years, doesn't it? God damn it.